If your metro don't trust you, I'ma shoot you.
Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning, babe. Nothing in the water.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu.
Mic check, waifu. Teliano, is that you?
What's up, bro? What's up?
This is episode 122 of Mic Check, waifu. Wait, this is 123. Polo.
123.
123. This is episode 123 of Mic Check, waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex. Make sure you go to lubecomplex.com and use that offer code waifu to save on your entire cart. It's also brought to you by don'ttalkshop.com. 1, 2, 3. 123 episodes of Mic Check Waifu was crazy.
I just thinking that 1, 2, 3 into the
flow. Hey, dude. Speaking of that, random aside. This is an anime podcast. I promise we'll get to the rigmarole later. GTA Trilogy, bro. I'm gonna have to
looks good.
It looks real good, man. I'm gonna have to get on the PS5 when it drops. So yeah.
You know, I think Vice City didn't get as much hype as it deserved. I loved Vice City.
Come on, man. San Andreas, bro.
No, I'm not saying San Andreas isn't, because San Andreas is my favorite out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But Vice City was a lot of fun. It was. I feel like it was more reckless than San Andreas to me. Like I just got real wild and reckless in Vice City.
I agree. I'm with that. Yeah, because I was mainly focused on the gang territory stuff in San Andreas. So in Vice City, I didn't give a shit. I was becoming the ice cream man, selling.
And you had the coffee stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, hey, this is episode 123 of Mic Check Waifu. As I already said all that. Hey, shout out to our Patreon producers: Aaron Brown, AB, Dre the Goat, G. K the Pros. Follow Chaotic Culture Podcast explicitly. Make sure you follow explicitly on Twitter as well. Monique Williams, Nachi. I haven't heard from you in a while. Give us an update. What you been watching? Talk to me. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. We have a very interesting topic to discuss. Something that came from a tweet that Tail posted that I'm really excited to discuss. But before that, man, I just want to say thank you for everybody that is familiar with this podcast that decided to come to my stream. I had a very good stream today. We had about 56 people in there at one point. I appreciate y'all for joining and watching me play an MMO, which I know is, not a lot of people rock with, but I'm having a good time streaming again. It feels good to be back doing it. So shameless plug, twitch.tv/PoloBornFly. So make sure you follow me there.
Polo throw out a little bit of cap like he not semi-famous.
Nah, not at all. I would, man.
MMO world.
In the MMO world. That's funny. Yeah. But thanks for everybody for coming by that. I appreciate it. Bro, soon we will have a guest on our podcast again. It's been a long time. Soon.
Way.
Soon, TM. But man, a lot of good stuff this week. It's gonna be hard this week for both of us, but we gotta pick an episode of the week. Or show of the week this week.
My episode of the week is Blue Period.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah, Blue Period is my episode of the week for sure.
Damn, that's crazy.
Don't try to steal mine. Get your own.
I can't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, don't try to steal mine. You get your own.
Oh, yeah. No, I got mine's is fuck that was gonna be mine, but
you can take it.
No. That was a really good episode. Blue Period has another. That's just so good. It's so actually really really good. But my episode of the week will probably be Banished from the Heroes Party.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good one too. I just finished that one actually.
I loved it. It's adorable, man. It's so fucking just adorable.
But I feel it gives the vibe that it's not going to be adorable the whole time.
100%.
Also, I forgot about
What?
the world's finest assassin. That was a really
Yes,
good
that was mine. Fuck, that was gonna be mine. What am I doing?
And the Faraway Paladin had a really good episode this week too.
Okay, so the Faraway Paladin. Let me just speak on this one. That one, I was the only time this season that I became impatient with an anime. I'm like, all right, enough of this shit. Like I was ready for it to continue. Good thing it did. Yeah, good thing it did because I was like, I'm kind of getting bored. But I feel like it was necessary for what they're about to establish now in this next episode with that one. But World's Finest Assassin is obviously my episode of the week. I'm gonna change it to that because that was just gold, just pure gold.
No, that was really good, and I would think about changing mine, but Blue Period hit.
It hit just as good. No, you're right. You're right. But no, with the shit with World's Finest Assassin, man, bro, how do you build up an isekai this good? I don't, man. And then the skill, maybe we should talk about that in the spoiler talk.
We'll do that.
Yeah, let's do that. So, oh my God, so much good shit. So many good things. But before that, let's get to this topic, Till.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You got to pull it up?
Yeah. So,
Hit me with it.
The question I asked on Twitter is, sometimes I wonder. Oh,
You in the mic?
yeah, you can hear me?
Oh yeah, no, I can.
Okay. Sometimes I wonder how watching so much anime affects our opinion on the genre as a whole. Do we become harsher critics, or do we enjoy more simple aspects, do we enjoy the more simple aspects more? And I tagged some people in it, obviously, and then everyone gave their opinions. You want to go with your opinions first?
Yeah. So the thing with that is that, like, I'm mostly, because you already know how I feel about this, and I feel like we talk about this enough on the show for the people to know how we feel about this. But what got to me the most is some of the responses, right? And some of the responses are obviously of people who I respect a lot. So I'm going to speak on their responses, but I want to make sure I understand what their responses was saying. So Tell, if you don't mind, and I shout out to her because I absolutely love her. But the Wonder of Anime, or the Wonder of Ivy, can you read her response for me real quick?
Yeah, I actually agree with her response a lot.
Do you?
In some regard, not entirely, because I think what we do, we have to be a little bit more critical.
Yes.
But she said, to be honest, I really don't criticize anime, but I'm not a critic to any media I consume. I recognize that some stuff isn't for me, and that's okay. I think the more anime I watch, the more I appreciate it. If there's something I don't like, I chalk it up to not being the audience for it.
Mm-hmm. So that I like that response, but it's just not how I view it personally. And it may be because we do this a little bit different than a lot of other podcasts and other content creators. But I feel like everybody critiques something, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, I feel like that's just a part of the entertainment itself. Like, and no matter what it is, we are going to always have something to say about something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, maybe you don't get on the internet and talk about how bad it is because, that's what you're not into, which I completely understand and completely respect just as much. But like, we all critique it and understand, like, some stuff can be bad. Like,
right. And I also think that the idea that you were unable to complete something, or you didn't want to complete something because you're not the audience for it, also is a critique in itself, right?
Facts.
That means that there is an audience out there and you're not that audience. So what makes it different for that audience is essentially a critique. Now, right. Just because you're not being critical of it in the sense of like you're putting it down or anything like that, didn't mean that you were critiquing it. And when I mean like making us harsher critics means more or less like, are we looking for better fine tuning as the genre and the years go on with anime, or are we looking for something sometimes just a little bit less? Because I think that reality is we're doing that. Oh, we're doing both of those often.
Yeah, and that's what I think you meant by the question, right? Like I feel like you didn't mean anything more or less than what you just said, right? Am I right in assuming that?
Yeah,
okay.
No point.
Yeah. So with that being said, with my personal opinion, absolutely it made me harsher. Like I've seen way too many, like, and not nearly as much as I have before I started doing this podcast. But since we started doing this podcast, I've watched way too many good anime, like just good. And good is obviously subjective, right? So take that with whatever grain of salt you will. But if you listen to us, you know our tastes, right? So, well, I've watched so many good anime. So when I see something bad, like I do feel like to criticize it or to, let other people who are like-minded as us, that continuously listen to us, aware of how bad something else is and our subjective opinions is very, 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 very helpful. Even if they say to other people's time, exactly. Even if they say, you know what, Tajay said this was bad because of this, and this. It kind of made me interested in checking it out. That is also a way of helping, right? Like, and that's why I value this podcast so much. So with that, I do think it did make me a lot harsher when it comes to my critiques. The problem is like, I'm also way more open-minded too. I'm so open-minded when it comes to anime. Like at one point in time in my life, and I'm not even gonna hold you, I really just wanted to watch dubbed anime. Like that was it. Like I didn't care about nothing else. If it wasn't dubbed, I didn't want to watch it because I speak English and I feel like you can get just as much emotion from an English anime than you can from a subbed anime, which is it's valuable. Like it can truly, but it's also not true because subbed anime can invoke just as much emotion as dubbed. So even though I don't speak Japanese, so I was completely wrong there. But I'm completely way more open minded with the shows I watch. Shows I would never touch, I turn on from time to time. I'm like, let me just see if this is something I can talk about on the show, And I think that's special. I really do.
Yeah. And I think that even with that open-mindedness comes the fact that sometimes, like, one of the anime I watched, last year was Foxtrot 1. And it was a 1-episode anime, but it was honestly, like, I thought it was going to be straight garbage. And it really didn't have a good story.
Yeah.
But it had somewhat interesting characters because it was a military-based anime with, like, 3D hamster design. Right? I think I talked about these.
Yeah, you did. I do.
It was not a good anime, but it was funny, right? And this is something I would have never watched previously, and I would have never given the time. That I would have turned it off immediately. Like it wasn't even as good as Hamtaro.
Right.
So like it really wasn't worth the time. But because of me watching so much anime, I took the time out to even give this time, and I didn't regret it. It was funny enough, and it was a valuable experience in the podcast space for me because I'm becoming more open-minded because of it. So yeah, that's more or less what I meant, is that are we becoming harsher critics, or are we taking in those more simple moments like that anime? It wasn't complex. It didn't ask for a lot. It was just there. Here's one episode, and we're not putting nothing else out. Enjoy it or not. That's what they did. Am I the audience for it? I mean, I thought I was okay with it. The audience wasn't meant to be this super grandiose audience. It was just out there for whoever wants to enjoy it.
Yeah. And to be honest, what I see on the timeline a lot of times, though, is some of us who do this, peers included. So it don't matter what podcast you're from or what situation, you listen, you do this. We also become harsher to the point where we also become closed-minded. I've seen it. I've seen it on the timeline. I'm not going to obviously name no names because that's just not what I'm here to do. But a lot of people I've seen become a lot more closed-minded with their harshness, if you will. Which is fine. I mean, that's how you feel you want to express yourself when it comes to anime, and that's perfectly cool. But I do think that's a mistake. I do believe that is being a mistake, because then you can miss out on so much that I don't know. Yeah, it starts to not become fun.
Yeah, you get stuck in that. The only new gen anime I'm watching are going to be JJK, or I only want to watch One Piece, or I only want to watch Naruto. Yeah. And it's like, don't put yourself in this one individual bag, and don't put yourself in that one individual spot and not let yourself grow. Right. Yeah.
And that goes into, I'm a transition into a polo way into what I feel like is another great topic. And what I said on Twitter, like the one take Jakes. Now, This this was specifically directed at Merc. Those who listen to us and are in our circle know who Merc is. If not, make sure you follow us on Twitter at MikeCheckWaifu. You'll understand Merc is a guy who literally posts anime takes, and I'm gonna just be 100% honest with you. That just seems toxic for toxic sakes, because a lot of times I know what he doesn't believe, and like I don't 100% believe everything he believes. He believes
He be trolling us.
He's gotta be trolling us. So with that, like, take it with a grain of salt. But I do want to talk specifically about the one take Jakes, the people who only have the one pieces on their resume, or the what's that fucking show that make my balls itch? The look of it. What was it called?
Hold up.
Dude, the art style makes my fucking balls itch. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that's what it's called. That shit. And what else? Dragon Ball Z heads and shit. Naruto fucking stands that only watch Naruto and Boruto. Like that shit specifically, those kind of people. Again, I call them one take Jakes. I want to talk about that. What what have you seen? You still there, too? Oh no, I lost my co-host. Uh-oh. Well, technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Bro, that shit was wild.
Discord straight up died on us, but we back.
We back.
Oh, fuck.
All right, Polo, take off.
What was I about to say? Something about one take Jakes. Oh, yeah. So I want to discuss that. Like, why? What do you think is the absolute purpose of the one take Jakes?
Traction.
Ooh, let's talk.
Traction as in like they want to gain a platform. So like, let's be real. You can take the Kardashian approach. No press is bad press, right? Regardless of how you get shit on, like people still keep coming to your page. Now look, we love Merc. I actually just talked to Merc on the phone earlier today. Dude is mad funny, good dude.
Love him to death.
Those takes sometimes they bad. They real bad sometimes.
Intentionally.
But you see, he hit Twitter like a year ago. Yeah, he keep going up. He keep going up because, you know, he find people like him and they supporting his takes and they gravitate towards that.
Yes.
That's all people come to social media for, is that self-confirmation. So people confirming and agreeing with Merc, and he not blowing up, but he getting the interaction. Yes, you can get interactions by being right and not having bad takes. But let's be real. Somebody out there going to agree with you. It's 7 billion, 8 billion people on this planet.
That's a fact.
You know?
Love Merc to death. And it's genius. It's absolutely genius what he's doing. Because guess what? He's known as the guy with the bad takes, which is fine. Like I'm sure he doesn't really give a fuck about, you know, what people actually have to say, which I respect wholeheartedly, you know, because that's how we live.
Many armies supporting him.
Exactly. Got a bunch of mini armies of anime avies following him, which is great, which is amazing. I love that. I love that for him. But that's exactly the right answer. It's traction. And again, couldn't be the way I move, couldn't be the way we move, period. Like, for instance, I don't even like for us to even ask for followers. We don't even do that, except for if you listen to the podcast. If you listen to the podcast, go follow us on Twitter at MikeCheckWaifu. Because we only want the people who want to be here with us to be here with us, not people who are friends of friends of friends joining us. And every time we hit a milestone number in followers, we like to give something to that person that decided to follow us of their own volition. So thank y'all so much for that. I just kind of I just spilled the tea a little bit, but it's still we're like, that's the way we move. That's the way we do things. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when you say something, like, I guarantee you, if I was to say something crazy on Twitter, something outlandish, it'll boost us. And that's just not how I want to move, because that's not how we are. It's not who we are. We're not outlandish. I guess we are outlandish in a sense. Like, my distaste for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure always give me all kinds of hate on the internet. And I don't. I guess I don't pay enough attention to
Not
it.
enough hate.
Yeah, not enough. You're right. That just sucks though. It's so ugly. Ugliest fucking show ever. Yeah, it's funny though. I like it. I mean, I like the way he doing it. I just sometimes it get a little outrageous.
It does.
Like-
It's a little wild that the Ash is the best MC.
Yeah, or the one I got. I don't care about none of that Pokemon shit. Or I don't care about Pokemon being the greatest anime of all time. That take whatever he can. Whatever.
Maybe greatest game franchise of all time. We looking at numbers, but
I just say, okay, Mike. What actually matters to me is when he said the isekai genre is poop.
Yeah, bro.
That's
I can't believe I forgot to bring up ReZero.
That's the yeah, me too. I was shocked.
He got to watch Grimgar. I was so focused on like he got to watch Grimgar. There's no way he thinks like the isekai genre is trash. And he's not seeing Grimgar.
Everything else,
how
bro.
did you say that?
Disgusting.
He said, what did he say? What's that? Greed Island. The entirety of Greed Island is better than the isekai genre. He said it's got the isekai genre on its back. Come on,
Greed Island isn't even the best in One Piece. Oh, I mean, Hunter x Hunter. Sorry.
Hey, same thing.
It's the same thing. Hunter x Hunter, but it's not. It's not even the best arc in Hunter x Hunter. Like to me personally, but
I agree.
There's no chance in hell that the isekai genre is as bad as you say it is. Like there's so many fucking great isekai. Like I'm staring right now at a trailer on Crunchyroll's YouTube of Shield Hero 2. Like, come on, man. And SAO had one bad season and people don't know how to act. Bro, it
just goes to show you didn't watch all of it.
You don't watch enough, bro. You don't watch enough. Until you watch enough, that's when you can claim the fame of the isekai genre being poop. You don't know Grimgar, you don't know ReZero, you don't know fucking Overlord. Like Overlord is fantastic. Like, come on. They're so wise. Like Wise Man's Grandchild is amazing.
Jobless Reincarnation.
Reincarnation, right? Yeah, absolutely.
World's Finest Assassin right now.
Right now.
Come on, bro.
They hit so crazy, man. They hit so crazy. Even fucking Moonlight Fantasy is so good. It's a good ass comedy.
Fantasy fire.
Konosuba is one of the greatest comedies ever in anime that everybody always brings up. I don't know. I'm sick of it. But you know what I'm not sick of?
What you not sick of?
How funny. I'm right about this particular thing. You remember when the fall season started? Okay. Let's think back. What was it? 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago?
Not even. It was like 2 weeks ago.
It was 3.5 weeks ago.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it's like 3.5 weeks ago. You're right.
I think
I'm thinking about the time.
Let me actually look at our episode list here.
It was like the 22nd, 23rd, something when it officially started.
Yeah. So if I'm just looking at our episode list. Was it 119 I said this? Which was September? No, it was 120. Watch 86 is when I said this. October 5th was when Platinum Man dropped. And I said, I guarantee you the only show that gets any type of, Tokyo Revengers love or anything like that was Platinum Man. Look where we are right now. The whole internet is watch Platinum Man, watch Platinum Man. It's crazy.
I don't think it's the best of this season.
No, it's not. It's good so far. It's great so far.
I do want to read it. I want to read it. I hate these like cliffhangers.
It's great. It's a great show so far. I'm not pressing like that. It's definitely not for me. And for me, I don't think I need to go read it or I don't think it's that. I don't think it had me like fucking Vivi did or 86 does.
Right.
But I just knew it. I think what we should start doing when these seasons come up is finding that one that we feel like that we know that the Twitter sphere or the internet is going to just
go hard.
They're going to latch on to. So October 7th, I'm going to keep spreading that October 7th tweet. Watch Platinum Man. Remember this tweet. And it's everywhere.
I think also, to be completely fair, if we give the benefit of doubt to Twitter and the rest of people on social media, the benefit is that obviously the producers and creator of this show are well known.
But yeah, that's a good point.
The art style is familiar. Even like how the angels float behind them and stuff like that, it's all familiar.
Yeah, valid.
So I mean, we're gonna give them that, but is it quite? It's not quite there for me either. It's not number one on my list for this season.
No, absolutely not. It's good though. It's good. good. It definitely had some moments where I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Right.
But it's not it. It's so funny.
Hey, when you right, bro. Can't help it.
Let me go to Annie List just real quick. I just want to take a gander over here. And I'm going to go to season. I'm going to go to what's next? Winter?
Yeah, it's 2022.
Is there anything for 2022 I can look at right now? Worlds and Harem. I can't wait for that. I'm so sad it got delayed.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I just want to see if there's anything that'll pop up so far that's like that I think I can call even this early.
Yeah, you looking at it now? Okay, let's take it. Let's see what we can do.
Is that
Area Fioretta?
Oh
no,
God,
no.
Yeah, I think you might be right actually.
I mean, Attack on Titan too. That's going.
Oh yeah,
people in the headlock.
True. Got people in the headlock. Oh my God, How to Realist Hero Rebuild the Kingdom Part 2 is coming that soon. Jesus. This ain't. I promise you, this ain't the winter preview. But I just want to see what would the internet gravitate towards. Interesting stuff though. Already looking at this list, I'm probably gonna call it Ari Free. Okay, I hate saying that fucking name.
Area Fioretta.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that.
I feel like that had gotten a lot of unnecessary praise.
Yes, it indeed did. Show was fucking creepy. Ooh,
Bad.
Benita's Part 2 too.
Yeah, Benita's Part 2.
Live. Okay, we gotta stop looking at that. We are a long ways away. Hell, I just used it. If for those of you watching on Patreon or watching the video version later on YouTube, I just put the fall show theme up. So we here. You got your iPad?
Nah, bro. I gotta get it replaced.
Oh yeah, that's right. Damn. He's gonna put Nami in something nice for the fall.
She need a nice little jacket or something.
Nice little quarter zip or something. That would have been sweet, but that's all right. Anyway, what else we got, Tell?
You know, kids breaking stuff. All right.
You got anything you wanted to discuss though? Outside that topic? As far as like shows go?
Honestly, I don't really have anything in particular. The only other thing I want to talk about was Build Divide a little bit. I don't want to go into spoilers on it. I just wanted to say
we could talk about it. Tell's gonna sound different like 3-4 different times in this episode, by the way. I'm sure y'all noticed.
The characters are trash. Like, and I don't mean like they garbage trash. I mean like I don't feel invested in these characters at all.
It's becoming real weird.
And I also think it's funny because the main character in Build Divide, like I like his like little.
You gotta talk in the mic, bro. There you go.
I like his neck thing that he puts over his mouth because that's actually a design I thought of when I was in high school and I was drawing this character. Mm-hmm. And I look at it and I'm just like, you don't look cool at all. You look horrible. You look like, in his whole personality, it's just like the characters in the show are trash. I can't tell if the girl who's helping him is actually a good person or a bad person.
But do you even care if she is or if she isn't?
I don't, because they're playing a card game.
Yeah.
And then like the one guy in this latest episode was like, he's like, no, I can't lose. And he keeps doing all this extra shit to not lose and he loses anyway. And it's like,
very weird, cool. Right?
That's cool and all, but
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't care if we spoil it. We talking about Build Divide, so spoilers for Build Divide, which you're not going to watch. Man, this made me realize how important characters are to an anime, bro. Because it's been such a long time since I've seen an anime with bad characters. What anime did I watch that had bad characters recently?
Demon Lord retry in the last 2 years.
Yeah, but that's
recently.
Yeah, there's nothing recently.
All the thing is that like I don't know why people are writing anime with characters that are like all feel like fodder.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why are all the characters in this anime irrelevant?
Maybe
I get it's a card game.
Yeah, I'm about to say maybe we just need to go back to that because think about Yu-Gi-Oh though.
Who's gonna buy the card game if they don't like the character?
You just like the game.
No one just liked Yu-Gi-Oh. People watched Yu-Gi-Oh to watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's a good point. It's your turn, Yu-Gi-Oh boy.
That first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, I was like, oh,
no, you're right.
Did he just play 5 cards from his hand and obliterate Kaiba?
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely right. Because Yugi, Kaiba, Pegasus, like there are
Joey was a favorite character of everyone.
Oh yeah, definitely not me. But
I'm not saying you, but he was.
No, yeah, I know.
The highest in the U.S. That's what I mean.
Ridiculous. He was trash to me.
Yeah, he was the writer's favorite character.
Okay. You can kind of tell actually.
He had the best development.
Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, you're right. Because what else? Obviously, is there another card game anime like that?
The only one I ever watched was Card Fight Vanguard, and I only watched the first season. And the characters are also not as likable as they are in Yu-Gi-Oh. Even other generations of Yu-Gi-Oh, the characters are more likable than every other card game I watched.
There was this other card game with a female protagonist. Is it this Card Captor Sakura?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep. Yes. No, it wasn't. Was it this? No, it definitely was not that one.
Not as likable as Yugi.
No, I definitely do remember Card Captor, but no, it's another. It was one where it was like super dark. It was a newer show.
I think these game-based anime just don't have good main characters. Like I love Pokemon as a franchise, but Ash is not a good main character.
That's true.
There's another game anime, Yokai Watch, which actually had almost beat Pokemon in sales one year. Actually, I think it did beat Pokemon in Japan one year. It didn't beat Pokemon as a yearly release in like all over the world, but it did beat Pokemon in Japan, which is wild because that never happened. Nothing beats Pokemon in Japan, but Yokai Watch beat Pokemon in Japan one year, and it never did it again. But it was like the characters in that anime apparently were trash. Like no one likes those characters. I watched the first like 5 episodes and. No, the main character in that is also bad.
Yeah, something about it. Maybe because they focus so much on the game that the characters can't shine, right? They don't have a chance to shine.
Yeah, I guess so.
It gotta be. I can't think of anything else.
I just feel like if you're going to make an anime about a video game, you're not, or a video game or any game in general, right? The game is not going to thrive if the personalities are trash, because every person who's going to play a card-based game, they're going to put their personality into their deck or whatever they're trying to build. Like Polo and I used to play. What was that robot building game we played on GameCube at your house that one time? Robo or something like that.
Robo. Something fucking I can't remember.
Polo and I, we played a robot game on his GameCube. Yeah, and it was going hard, but both our robots were completely different because we have completely different personalities.
Yeah,
that's how people want their characters to be in anime. If you're gonna make a game-based anime,
you don't want
stale ass characters. I'm sorry I picked this as my sleeper because it's already putting me to sleep.
Maybe that's why. Oh my god, that is hilarious. Damn, what? I can't think of that game name now, man. I'm about to look it up. I gotta know.
Let's see. Robo game on GameCube.
That's exactly what I typed. Custom Robo. That's exactly it. Mm-hmm. That is so crazy. Oh, it was so good, man. I need a custom Robo game, bro.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I had a GameCube for so many years. It was one of my favorite consoles. And Polo put me on the more games on the GameCube than I had ever played.
You ain't never played that GameCube.
I had a GameCube, and you wanna know what I played on my GameCube? I had the attachment you put on the bottom of it so you can play Game Boy Advance games. I just played Pokemon.
I know. Yep.
Pokemon Emerald. And I had Super Smash Bros. And that was it. I never played my GameCube for nothing else. Smash Bros. And Pokemon.
Yeah, Melee was my shit too. I enjoyed Melee. We used to take the TV out into the. I used to have a breezeway. If y'all remember what a breezeway is. It's the thing. It's the attachment to a house that goes from the house to the garage. And it was a section we used to bring out the CRT TV, put it on this table. It's fucking heavy ass TV too. It was like 23 inches, but it was heavy as fuck. carry it downstairs from my room, put it in the breezeway, hook up the GameCube, play Melee, and play fucking custom Robo all day.
That was a big ass TV back then, though.
Yeah, back then it was a nice size with 25 inches or some shit like that. Big ass back. It was flat too. It was like the CRT TV that curve out. All right, let's get to know Mic Check Waifu. This is a part of the show where one of us rolls a random number generator and the other reads a question associated with that number. It's Tell's turn to roll the number and my turn to read the question. So without further ado, there are 62 questions on the list. I think Tell forgot to delete last week's question.
No, I did.
Okay.
63.
Okay.
Number 4.
Damn. Number 4 is, what is your thematic? That's weird. What is your favorite thing about anime?
Probably gonna be something like the characters. We're gonna say the characters for the purposes of pushing my agenda today. But characters and the story, those are like criteria. You can't have a good story with really shitty characters, and you can have a decent story with shitty characters. You can't have a really good story with shitty characters. So
yeah, my favorite thing about anime is that it's, for me, anime literally took over TV for me. Like, I watch zero TV, and the reason being is because the variety you get from anime is so different than what you get from TV, right? Like, I get so many different kinds of stories from anime that are adult themed too, like that are of age, or or something more, kin to young adults, that is entertaining, that you can't do on TV, obviously, right? And that, I feel, is my favorite thing about anime. It's variety, for sure. So when we come back, we're going to spoil. We're going to spoil
86.
Jobless Reincarnation and Platinum Men. So stick around if you watch those shows. The first thing I think we're going to spoil is going to be Platinum Men, because a lot of people watch Platinum Men. So we're going to talk about Platinum Men first, and then we're going to move on to Jobless Reincarnation in 86 right after these. Welcome back to episode 1, 2, 3 of Mic Check Waifu. Make sure you again rate the podcast, give it 5 stars on iTunes, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen to this podcast. We would appreciate that. That means a lot to us. We did get a few more ratings recently, so I thank y'all for rating us. That's much appreciated. Well, with that, we are now going to spoil Platinum Men. So what'd you think about this most recent episode of Platinum Men, which was episode 3?
It was
was it episode 3?
It was episode 3.
Okay, episode 3 of Platinum Men.
It was not as interesting as I wanted it to be.
Talk to me.
It has some great details in terms of like building up the other characters and whatnot. But I thought this was about to be some chaos.
Didn't you?
The way that they swooped in, that was like that face that was made on the cliffhanger of episode 2, like the face Light made when he knew he was about to kill L.
Yeah, facts.
It was like, but that's not what happened. Also, I feel like, and this could just be me thinking about it, but I feel like if a character is already in love with another character, that red arrow shouldn't work that way. They should have hit him with the red arrow, and he should have been like, I mean, I'm already in love with you. I had no intentions on hurting you anyway. So to me, it felt kind of like out of place. How do you make someone who's already in love with you love you more? It's like,
right.
That shit was kind of weird to me. I don't know, bro. It's just some of the stuff was like offbeat.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
What do you think?
No, I kind of agree with everything you said wholeheartedly. Just, I just still think it's super interesting, but it's starting to lose my interest a little bit. The reason being,
I think that's why I want to read it.
Yeah.
Because like I don't like having to wait. I know that the manga is complete, and these cliffhangers, I feel like it's going to get better. But the way they're doing these cliffhangers, it was like that cliffhanger from episode 2 was epic. Like I really enjoyed that cliffhanger because of how it led into that dynamic. It was dynamic, right? Into this episode, and it was like, okay. And then they put us in this cliffhanger with seeing some other stuff, and it was like, it's not really that impressive at the end of this 3rd episode. It's like, I would rather have just read this through and been like, okay, now I see what's happening next.
Yeah. I'm more interested in watching it myself though. Like, because again, I'm not as impatient when it comes to these cliffhangers, because they're not that good. They're just not that good. They're not that interesting to me. The cliffhanger part, except for that episode 2 one, that shit was very interesting to me, obviously, because of the way it was. It was gorgeous. But I'm like, I don't care about these other Power Rangers about to fight Metropolitan Man or whatever the fuck his name is. Like, I don't care. But I am interested to see how this story plays out with him becoming what I know he's probably going to become, because the outro shows it, you know. He's going to be the someone who helps protect, who essentially just becomes a part of the game. And now that I saw what happened this episode, I can predict probably what's going to happen is that he's going to get a suit like, what is it, Metro Man, whatever the fuck. He's going to get a suit like him where the red arrows can't pierce him, and he's going to obviously wear what he's wearing in the outro with the hood and the mask and shit to hide his face. And he's going to basically just fight, essentially. Like, it's going to become that kind of anime. Which, am I that interested in? No, not really.
Yeah. I feel like with it being by the creators of Death Note, that it would have been a more psychological, strategic game plan kind of anime. And it might be.
It still might be.
We have no idea. We have no idea. But I just figured that was going to be more of it. And I do like the idea that instead of having Shinigami this time, we have angels. You know, instead of angels of death, we have angels of life and happiness kind of scenario. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm very interested in our character. I'm very interested in his journey. But I don't care about the fighting aspect of it, or what I think is about to turn into, because I would rather have the strategic shit and like them coming up with clever plans, which again, I do still think he will, because I do feel like he's that kind of character. So like, for example, when he sent his angel away, when he was in the public, and he said, hey, go back, go home, get away from me. when he realized that in his inner monologue, that part had me impressed. And that was the reason why I'm like, oh, okay, so this is going to be this kind where he's kind of maneuvering around people. And that's what I want to see. I want to see that slosh shit.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, I was going to say, it does seem like the guy, the Metro Polyman, it does seem like he has a plan.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like he has a plan and he's trying to be like sneaky, but he's not that smart. Because obviously, I feel like anyone who's like, you said you're going to attack us and you switch to this, come on, bro. We know there's only 2 special angels, right? Or as far as you know, there's 2 special angels that was it 3?
Yeah, it's 3.
Okay. I thought they said it was 2 and then you could be promoted, but it's 3. And we know that you can get promoted to a special angel. So we do know that like some of these angels who got these wings and stuff, they might not be as good as Metro Polyman, because Metro Polyman got the wings. He got both arrows. Yeah. The thing with Metro Boomin is that I don't know if I don't know if he's gonna be the light to my L kind of shit. What you think? I think young Metro. I think the issue with young Metro is not only that we can't trust him, or it can't even be trusted, but the issue is that the character is playing his cards too up front, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, he's gonna be done in this next episode. Ooh. Or the following coming up episodes. No, he's a big bad, bro. They already discussed him dying. Look, and let's talk about why they discussed him dying. They already discussed that if he dies, his abilities can be passed on to another. I think that he is gonna die, and someone else is gonna pass it on. Like someone is gonna take it. Now we're gonna have. Yes, I don't think it's gonna be Saki. I think someone else is gonna take it, because of the fact that they're gonna kill him. That's what it is. Dude, that'll be so good if Metrosexual die in the next episode. That'll be so fucking good, because it's like literally that because nobody would expect that, right? Like, because the way they showing him in the shadows and shit, and he's hidden and he's doing all that. I'm going to be a god bullshit in the background in the chair and with a cat on his lap kind of shit. Like, I would love that. That will make me more interested in this story. What you selling? Yeah, 100% Metro Terminal A is gonna die in the next like 2 episodes. The next 2? Okay. I'm liking that. I'd really like that. If it happens, man, I would. Yeah. Don't read it yet. Just until we find out what's. Yeah, I'm not gonna read it yet. Just these next 2 episodes, because if you're right, that'd be fucking crazy. That'd be real good. For sure. I'm so interested in that. All right, let's finish with this gold chain. Next, we're going to move on to... Hey, look, let's not move on to the one you said next. Let's move on to World's Finest Assassin. Let's do it. What did you think? Because I kind of gave my thoughts on this first. What you think? One of the greatest power spell systems I've ever seen. And obviously the way they established it and the way he established it, it was burn notice, man. It was fucking burn notice, and it keeps doing that to me. Which what I love the most is that, like, so the idea of creating a spell doesn't necessarily feel unique in this world to me. No, yeah, absolutely. I feel like obviously there's going to be someone out there who's already thought of the idea of creating a spell. But the way he created the spell, because he can write his own spells and do it for himself. Right. But we do realize now that the reason that people haven't been able to create spells, if they were unable to, is because they don't have that spellweaver ability. They might not have the same connections he does. I also love to see that he's chosen like lower level skills that combined with other skills put him so far ahead. Like, yeah. And the thing is he didn't necessarily choose the lower level skills. Like, all his other higher power skills are high powered skills. Yeah, but the skill of every class is what I mean. Yeah, yeah. He chose the right combination. Yes, there it is. It's the combination of him choosing. He's like, when he was looking at the different spells and discussing it, it's so fucking burnout. It itches me. He looked at Spellweaver and said, this is a lower level spell. It seems off. I'm definitely going to grab that. And it was like, I thought to myself, like, Spellweaver is a lower level spell. It had me invested into the system of the world way even before we got to the world, which was incredibly
done, man. The world building is incredibly done. And that's why, again, it goes back to what we were talking about, characters. And I think the world is the two most important pieces of an anime. And I think I'm gonna name this episode Metro Boomin.
I thought about that too.
But yeah,
So good.
I was gonna go with One Take Jake at first, but then you just this entire discussion just went that over. But yeah, man, what seriously, phenomenal, man. Like just think, he's like thinking to himself, I'm like, okay, I can craft a gun essentially if I do what I know, if I think about how guns are made, spell weave it, say it, and boom.
Rifle, but the words are backwards. So he said create rifle backwards, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the rifle comes in his hand and says fire, boom. We also saw his level, like the person who's training him is one of the top 5 magicians in the world.
Yeah.
And his mana is way above hers, and he's teaching her stuff, which is like, it shows like the level of what the world is.
Yes.
But in his mind, he's like, what he did with the Far Stone not going to be enough to beat the hero,
which is crazy because it was like a nuke.
But he also, if you saw what he was trying to do, he's trying to get a bunch of those Fire Stones, like he can drop a bunch of them all at once. That would be busted.
It totally would be busted, dude. Incredible, man. Incredible show, man. All around, I'm starting to become, obviously, outside of our continuations, right? Our continuations are obviously the top for us. Jobless Reincarnation in 86. New shows, this is becoming one of the tops.
Yeah.
Easily second.
I was on Spice Lady's stream. She was streaming Valorant on Twitch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked, she's talking about what anime she was watching and stuff like that. And I was talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, y'all sleeping on some of this stuff. World's Finest Assassin, don't sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on it. Let's not let Platinum Man take over.
That's it, man. I'm telling you.
Let's watch some of this other goodness, this greatness.
That's what we need to get out. We need to get out. Mic Check Waifu needs to get out other shows other than Platinum Men. Like, we need to do our best. We need to do something, because I'm telling you, even when I was in anime after work, they were like, I was talking about how I don't think Tokyo Revengers is obviously going to be the anime of the year because I have stuff like 86. And they were like, well, I don't know. Mike on By the Mic from Platinum Man podcast said, I don't know, man. We got to wait to see what Platinum Man does. Platinum Man is looking real good. I'm like, yeah, it's looking good, but there's still other stuff I already feel is better than Platinum Man. But, we'll see. We'll see.
It's going to take some time. Obviously, I think a lot of it has to do with like the hype surrounding stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think that once the hype kind of dies out and people kind of see it for what it is, that some of this other stuff is not just like simple,
right?
It's done and it's not that good. Like some of the stuff is actually really good.
Yeah, that's what I love it, man. And it's not like we're not like the types that's like we don't like it because it's popular. Like we obviously like Platinum Chain, but
Tokyo Revengers.
we obviously like Tokyo Revengers. We like it all, but the thing is like we just know there's so much more people we want to discuss with people. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I think we need to. All right, let's move on to
Jobless Reincarnation.
86, because Jobless Reincarnation was a good episode, but I don't think it warrant full spoilers yet.
All right. 86. So we got a nice conversation about overall, like the new machines.
Yes. What she called them, Ringfield or some shit like that?
Ringfields, but they call them juggernauts.
Mm-hmm. 86. Like she was like, nah. Yeah. Juggernaut.
Ringfield juggernaut. Ringfield juggernaut.
I love that part.
This shit is ridiculous, bro.
I absolutely love that shit. Yeah. Fucking. I don't.
Now, I do have a part that I thought was relatively important, right?
Yes.
And it was Shin's conversation with Raiden.
Yes.
His conversation with.
Oh no, I was thinking of something else. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
His conversation with Raiden, they kind of talked about him not exposing himself and what he can sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to put themselves at risk, because these people, they see themselves as better than the Republic. But the Confederacy, he says they're the same. They think that we're lower than them. And it's not that they think that we're lower than them because, you know, they view the 86 as like less than people.
Machines,
they view them as lower than them because they've been through so much that they put them lower. They're not rivaling. They're not putting them as equals.
Yep.
And if they were put as equals, the 86 wouldn't have such a hard time actually trying to get on the field, getting deployed, getting into battle.
We don't want to send these kids to battle.
Right. They're being pitied because of what they've already been through, which is a whole other kind of discrimination, even if people don't understand it.
Right.
And I thought it was a really good like point to put out there because like while the Confederacy is inherently better and probably less chaotic, less toxic for them, they're still not being treated as equals. And I think that is something that, you know, people who, I ain't trying to get political, but people who want to help the impoverished don't understand.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily help them by trying to put them in a spot where you're taking care of them. You help them by making them equal and letting them do what they set out to do or what they are trying to do.
Same thing with, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to go there. But you're absolutely right. It's the extremes. It's two extremes, right? It's the pity extreme and it's the treating like shit extreme. Both are the same when it comes to the spectrum. There's a such thing as just equal. Just put me equal. I don't care about what I've done in the past. I don't care about who I am in the past. I don't care about what color my hair is. Just put me equal. That's all that matters. Judge me off my skill and that's it. What I feel like was the most important conversation in the entire episode was Shin's conversation with Federica to learn about the Knight, to learn about the Legion. So to my understanding, and help me if I'm wrong, please, because I would gladly.
There was some important stuff there too, because I was going to bring it up too. Go ahead.
Very important stuff. From what I'm understanding is that the Legion was created, a machine, like machines created by essentially what her people were, which makes this world huge. By the way, this world is absolutely huge, and I love the way it's being built. But
the original Confederacy, I believe.
The original Confederacy created the Legion, and the Legion essentially became Terminator, and they began becoming machines that uses the brains of obviously humans to reproduce or to continue to grow. Yeah. No, I think that is so extremely good knowledge to know now, because throughout this entire show, the only criticism I had was like, okay, what the fuck are these Legion? Because if you remember at the end of part 2 to part 1, I was confused. I'm like, what the fuck is Legion then? If all of this shit is going on with his brother and being taken over and the way they seem to be symbiotic, you know, I'm like yeah, like has a symbiotic hive mind thing going on. I'm like, I don't even understand how this actually works, but to know that they were created and then they turned on their creators and then realized that they can become something more, now help me understand this world or the Legion or this war 100% better.
And one of the things I also thought was important was the fact that she said something about the Legion was out scavenging for things that they can recycle.
Yeah.
So they're viewing humans as something that can be recycled in their production. Mm-hmm. They're taking the previous machines, recycling them. They're taking the humans' bodies, recycling them. They're essentially trying to be more efficient than the humans.
Yes.
They were created for a war to destroy the Confederacy's neighbors, in which they actually ended up getting the Confederacy destroyed because they turned on the Confederacy. Mm-hmm. And they're out here just trying to recycle what they can and take over everything.
Yeah.
This is essentially, like Polo said, the Terminator, but on a larger, probably more ridiculous scale.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously without the scale of time travel, but
true.
Like it's essentially Skynet. And I think they need the way they were created. They were created probably in a way of, because she was talking about secrecy, right? With how this project became so secret and just so like a part of her family being like the riches of them all, or the quote unquote queen and princess of all that shit. That I think it was done with what's the word I'm looking for? With Nazi-esque intention, right? Like to become so powerful, they decided to use everything they possibly can. Think of it like gas weapons of mass destruction. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
Right.
So I think they used dead people and their their brains essentially to create what the legions were, and that was the big mistake.
And we'll probably eventually find out, but that does seem very like on par, right? Like, what if they were like, "Yo, we don't want to send our own people to war to fight by themselves entirely," so you take those people. And I mean, and the glimpse into that we have is Shin and his older brother, right? Shin's older brother came for him out of love, right? He knew that if I can get my brother, I can have him forever, right? He will be alive forever inside this machine.
Yep. Exactly right. It's all coming together.
You might be on point there.
It's all coming together. Like, and that's the one thing that the Legion can't control is the feelings of an actual human. But I do think the quote unquote CPU of a human, which obviously, i.e., our brain, that being the most important piece of what the Legion are, and that is what it was when they were created. I got a feeling they did some old type of Walt Disney, conspiracy theory kind of shit, right? Where they take their top fucking generals in the Confederacy and they say he passed away, but his brain he was so smart. He was so good at this. Let's try to use that to help us create these weapons of mass destruction.
This army that can't be stopped. This metal legion.
Exactly. And they created essentially, this is, oh my God, Tell.
There you go. You done broke the code.
These motherfuckers are, this show is Mass Effect. Bro, this show is fucking Mass Effect.
It's Mass Effect.
With the Reapers and holy shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now the Legion trying to wipe out all the humans. It's wild. That's wild. That's crazy to think about. But yes, man, this show is incredible. 86 is so good. It's so good. Wow. Sorry, I just blew my own mind.
Nah, you good, bro. You blew mine.
All right, man. I think that'll be it for this episode 123.
So we just finished talking about My Chick Waifu's possibility possible for Anime of the Year 86. Let us know what you think about it. Is it blowing your mind like ours? Is it Terminator? We don't know. We also talk about World's Finest Assassin. We're loving this, the system, the power scaling, everything about this so far. This scene, well, not scaling, the power system, everything like that is amazing. And Platinum Men, we also talked about Metro Boomin, Young Metro.
Young Metro Boomin is the name of this episode.
And the city of Metropolis that Superman came from. The anime, it is pretty good, but don't let that put you in a chokehold. We also want to get to know Mike Check Waifu. What is most important in anime to you? Polo and I kind of agree on our what's important in anime on us, but let us know what you think. We also talked about game-based anime and why they're all so bad because they focus on the game and not the characters.
Yes.
And that came from the conversation with Bill Divide and how I'm falling out of hate with it because it's more hated now. We talked about a little bit about Platinum End. Polo also had his one take Jake's conversation. We love you, Merc, but some of them takes is trash, and you're not the only one.
No, definitely not the only one.
There's some out there with even worse takes because we know you trolling, but some of them other takes is bad. We also asked the question: are we becoming harsher critics, or are we enjoying the simpler aspects of anime now that we're watching so much anime? Let us know what you think. Is consuming so much anime content making you harsher, or is it making you more, enjoying with the other stuff? And then we also had our episode of the week, which mine was Blue Period and Polo's was World's Finest Assassin.
Yes, sir.
And that's been episode 123 of Mike Check Waifu.
I'm at Polo Born Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram. And as always, Mike Check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu. Polo and Tell, is that you?